Was watching a video and YouTube cut it off in midstream. Hey everybody, this is Tom with Tom's Talk Show. I do have another channel, Tom's Tech Show. I know I'm very creative about names, but it gets my point across. Here I do things about anything I want to talk about, and tech is usually just tech and often sci-fi shows like The Orville, which is now done with season 3, and I don't have enough. We need more episodes. We need it to come. If you're out there and you're interested in The Orville or any kind of sci-fi, make sure you go watch The Orville. It's on Disney Plus. So crank up that streaming service and just start watching them over and over. Do your marathons. Get them all the way through. Make sure everybody knows that we need more Orville. But today I came home. I was helping a friend out do some stuff at his house, and came back home, sat down. I'm like, oh, there was a rally over in Arizona. You know, it should be a pretty good thing. So I sat down, I start watching it, and boop, it goes away. So I keep looking and looking, and I cannot find the stream. So I did see there was a little Rumble icon, so I jumped over to Rumble, and it was still streaming on Rumble. So I'm like, okay, well, that seems weird. I'm sure it was nothing. Maybe they just had a problem with the stream. Maybe something was going on. So I come over here to my YouTube history, and the video has been removed and never placed in my YouTube history. So I'm wondering, you know, what's kind of going on. This is leading me to believe that, you know, a normal person would think, well, the obvious thing is that this is being censored, this is being removed because they're talking about things that, you know, the left does not like. So, but it was Governor Ron DeSantis doing an amazing job talking about all the things that they're doing here in Florida, which is obviously why I moved here, to get away from the California insanity. And he was mentioning that how, you know, all the people here in Florida and who had been here for a long time were worried about all of these people from, you know, liberal states, you know, like California, New York, that were coming here, were, you know, people were like wondering, what is that going to do to the state? And it's going to turn it all liberal. We're all going to vote liberal. Well, I've never voted liberal in my life. So obviously I just came to a state where my vote counts, right? Where my vote actually means something, where, you know, it actually has a purpose, unlike California, where anybody in a rural area in California just gets their vote run over and thrown into the trash, basically, because of the huge liberal areas in San Francisco and Los Angeles. Just, it gets crazy. You get very frustrated after a while. But so I did watch the rest of it on Rumble, and was, you know, just some amazing things going on, you know, in that. And I looked over and I remembered, oh yeah, that's right. Twitter is also moving ahead of the midterm election to stop misinformation. Well, what misinformation would that be? The Russian collusion? That turned out to be more than 100% false. And now we have the new Mar-a-Lago thing, which just seems insane to me, that when you have someone that's cooperating with every request, that your next move is, you know, it's like somebody, you know, you got a pack of gum, somebody comes up to you and says, can I have a piece of gum? No, I only got one left, I'm just going to keep it for me, sorry. And then they punch you in the face. I mean, the escalation, you know, in that is insane. Well, that's the same thing that's going on here. That's insane what they're doing. So it's obviously, I mean, they can bark and whine and do whatever they want from any podium they want anywhere. I think everyone knows that this is 100% politically motivated. This is 100% keep Trump out of getting back into office, because they're deathly afraid that he's going to suddenly reverse everything that Biden has done, and the country is going to explode in prosperity. That is their ultimate fear, and then they would lose power. Then Pelosi might lose some of her, $100, $200, $300 million that she's made by being in office. Got to get that thing out of there, man. Yeah, so Twitter has unveiled its plans for countering misinformation in the run-up to the midterm elections. And already people are crying for help. Of course they are. Because they've been wrong so many times. I mean, how many times did we hear, CNN scream collusion, over and over, but yet someone brings evidence. No, this is what's actually going on. This is what we found. This is the actual kind of truth. And Twitter labels it as misinformation and knocks you out. So I don't trust Twitter at all. Even, you can Elon Musk it, all you want, but he's not really there yet. And that still may not even be, the way to save the platform. But Twitter's basically dead. I mean, it's just a place to go have pointless arguments with, people and see how you can stir people up, really. So, I mean, they can claim, misinformation has been falling by 13%, or retweets dropped by 15%, and blah, 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 and whatever else. Still doesn't change the fact that if you say that 2 years ago, if you would have posted Hunter Biden's laptop has information and it's damning to Biden, and you need to get this information out there, and your tweet gets taken down or your account gets suspended. But, oh, wait, it's all true. So who's to say what information is misinformation? I think we need to go back to maybe, the First Amendment, free speech, that we all need to be able to say what we need to say. And if we got proof to back it up, great. If you don't have proof to back it up, then you're not going to get liked or voted, right? I mean, I was recently watching, like I said, the Orville, and they had the episode called Majority Rule, where everything was done by, voting up and down in society and law. All, if you what medicines you could take in the episode. Like, does this medicine work? Well, does it have more upvotes or downvotes? Nothing scientific about it, just more upvotes or downvotes. Whether someone had committed a crime was based on upvotes or downvotes. So if you did a crime that everybody liked, then I guess you would always get upvotes and you would never be charged. Well, that's kind of the same way this is, right? If you're living and running it by just upvotes and downvotes, well, now we're running it by their random policy from people who are very leaning to the left side. I would say, fine, you want to do that? You have it be a council that's 50% left, 50% right. Well, maybe like 45 left, 45 right, and 10, libertarian people in the middle. And then go through, have them argue it out and see whether something should stay. But it's not. It's 100% left. It's 100% against anything that has anything to do with anything a conservative says. Anything anybody libertarian says. I want the government out of my life. I want the government away from me. I want to be able, that's why we moved out kind of to the country, so we don't have anybody around us. And I can do the things that I want. I've got my property. We've got, our chickens. We've got, gardening going in, all that kind of stuff. I want to be able to do the things that I want. Put another building on for my sister-in-law. Things that I want to do without people poking into my business, without the government coming down on me. It's the same kind of thing. Without them coming, people on Twitter coming down on you because you said something. Oh my gosh. Well, you need to get out and vote if you're leaning. I mean, I would say everybody needs to get out and vote and do the vote. I've already voted. My voter information has already been sent in. It's done. Florida, they have a lot of things in place so that you got one person and you got one vote, and that's it. So it's done very well in Florida, to maintain that integrity of elections. And it's been pretty good moving here to Florida and freedom and stuff like that. But this misinformation stuff and, YouTube removing the video, removing it from my history that I never even watched it, when I know I watched at least half hour of it. Maybe 20 minutes of it I watched. Not in my history. So at least there are other independent platforms like Rumble. There's other kinds of Twitter replacements and everything else. So, you have to be on all of them, I think is the answer. You just have to be on all of them. You may get taken down from some, but you'll be on others. And hopefully search engines, Google will probably filter some of it out. Maybe DuckDuckGo won't. Bing may filter it out. So you got to try and use, a better, search engine to find some of this stuff, or just find those platforms and make sure you bookmark them so you can go search for the things that you want on these other video streaming platforms. All right. Well, you can tell I was all heated up because came back and I was going to go rewind the video and get back to the beginning, and start from the beginning of the video because I came in about 20 minutes in. I wanted to see the whole thing about it. And I did get to see on Rumble, my governor, Ron DeSantis. And so that was good. But being cut off, it's like, this is information that people need. Right? The people are going to want to watch this. They're going to see that not everybody knows about Rumble, or has the app on their iPad, or knows where to go for it. So, and just may I say that to the RSBN people, just putting that little logo on there. They had the little Rumble logo, triangle green logo on their thing. You need to put rumble.com/RSBN so that people know where to go. I mean, if they're just looking at a video or something and they go, it gets cut off, well, where do I go now? They had a little green thing on there that wasn't YouTube, so what was that? So you need to add all that information on there. All right. Yeah, it's been too much stress after that. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Make sure you get out and vote, and get your friends out, and tell everybody to get out there and really stick it to them. Let's take our government back. Let's get our representatives that actually represent all of us. All right. Thanks for watching. Take care.